Hello everyone, my name is Christina. In today's video, I'm setting up my 2021 bullet journal. I've been looking forward to this for the past month. Towards the end of the year, when my new planner or bullet journal arrives, I immediately want to start using it, which is why I'm so happy to set this up now so I can start filling it out and setting up my goals for 2021. For this year, I decided to go with this gorgeous lime green dotted notebook from Archer and Olive. This color isn't usually what I would choose, but I don't know. I just knew I had to have it when I first saw it. It just spoke to me. I did a lot of research for the last couple of months, and I decided to go with the Archer and Olive because I love the quality. They're handcrafted journals. The pages are 160 GSM. I feel like if I wanted to use watercolors or paint, I could totally do that with this paper. So I'm glad that I have options this year. I mentioned this in my 2020 flip through, but I want my setup to be somewhat minimal and manageable. Some of the supplies I'm using are dried baby's breath, green washi tape, Tombow dual brush pen in the color N57, letter stamps, and a stencil. However, I don't know if including real baby's breath is manageable, but they were easy to find. I mean, I purchased these at Trader Joe's 4 days ago. I clipped a couple of pieces and placed them in a book so that I could get that pressed flower look. I will say 4 days isn't necessarily enough time for the flowers to dry out and, essentially be in their final form, mainly because by the time I use them for the setup, the flowers still contained moisture, making them fragile when I was working with them. So if you plan on using baby's breath, give it about a week to provide it with enough time to flatten and dry out before use. Also, it doesn't have to be baby's breath. You could also use this same pressing technique for rose petals, violets, daisies. You have so many options. As you can see, I am working on a page dedicated to my grid space. Anytime I see someone else's grid space, it never makes any sense to me. Do you guys feel the same way? Like, what's this line for? Or I'll understand what it's for. Okay, you're splitting your page into thirds, but I can't apply it to my own bullet journal. And that's solely because they've created it based on how they set up their bullet journal, so it's custom. So of course, I have it numbered from left to right, horizontally and vertically, making it easy for me to find the middle point, which I often do. I also have it divided into thirds, but from left to right, you'll see a space, then a line with 8 spaces, space, then another line with 8 spaces, and so forth. And I have that because I find myself using this exact measurement when creating my weekly setups. Hopefully that makes sense. It's so hard to explain. However, my advice for figuring out how a space grid works is to ask yourself, when you're bullet journaling, do you find yourself counting the spaces repeatedly when creating your spreads? If so, you should include that measurement in your space grid. The yearly overview is probably the most nerve-wracking part to make. If it's one number off, it's a lot of whiteout. You know, when you're halfway through your bullet journal, if you use a lot of whiteout, it's a little more forgiving than if you messed up in the beginning. I will say if you do mess up and you want to just start all over, carefully tear out a piece of paper from the back of your bullet journal and tape it over the page you want to start all over on. I saw this page, My Ideal Day, on Pinterest, and I thought I'd include it in my 2021 bullet journal. At first, I had a hard time figuring out what my ideal day is. And to be honest, my ideal day is waking up, breakfast in bed, a book in hand, maybe binge watching a TV show, just relaxing. But since my bullet journal is supposed to help with productivity and accomplish goals, I've changed the title to My Ideal Productive Day. When I do have a day like this, I do feel accomplished and happy. I feel fulfilled when I'm working towards the goals I've set. Let me remind you, this page isn't supposed to make you feel bad when you don't have a day like this. Realistically, every day isn't going to be like this. I'm human. I'm not a robot. I can't do the same thing every day. And the moment I can accept that, this page serves as a space of inspiration and a reminder whenever I want to be productive. For my book tracker, I decided to keep it simple. In the past, I've gone all out with drawing out a bookshelf or an open book with pages, but this year I want it to be a list. That's it. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. A simple aesthetic that brings me joy every time I open it. You'll notice through this setup, I didn't put too many flower arrangements per page. Trust me, I was tempted. I put 1 to 2 flowers for every 2 pages. I think what I'm going to do when I fill out my yearly and monthly goals is to tape or glue some of the petals to fill in the empty space. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am pleased with my setup. Please tag me if you guys end up recreating this spread. Even if you guys use a different flower, please tag me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.